Leading Conservative Eurosceptics have warned David Cameron that the referendum on UK membership of the EU will not be seen as legitimate if he presses ahead with plans to relax the rules on what the government can say and spend in the 28 days leading up to it. The row could spark a major Tory rebellion in the Commons this week, a sign of the growing revolt in his own party over Europe. The Prime Minister only recently began negotiations with European partners, but already members of his cabinet have joined a new group preparing for an out campaign. Conservatives for Britain now has over 100 Tory MP supporters, and they want the government to remain silent in the weeks before the in-out vote.
It is unacceptable that there will be no limit to local government, national government, or above all, European government agencies spending money and sending information to citizens. And that is going to skew the whole thing. And the British people have a very, very strong sense of fairness. They will detect that this has been rigged.
The group is demanding that Britain leaves Europe if Mr Cameron cannot secure drastic changes to the terms of Britain's membership. For some, that means a trade relationship with the EU and no political or judicial connection, like Iceland, which recently dropped its bid to join. Well, here with us in the studio now is the Prime Minister of Iceland, Sigmundur Gunnlaugsson. Prime Minister, you recently decided to stop your application to join the EU. What do you make of the British government's decision to hold a referendum on membership?
Well, I don't want to get involved in local British politics, so I can only answer from our experience. There are obviously differences between the situation here in the UK and in Iceland, although there are similarities as well. So I don't want to tell the British what to do. But for us, staying outside of Europe, the European Union has been very important, even instrumental in getting us out of the economic crisis. So it has affected us in positive ways, giving us control over our own natural resources, but also having control over our own legislation and our own currency, which if we hadn't had that, we would not be in the situation where we are now, with a very fast improving economy.
Well, you've shown that you can at least survive outside of the European Union. Do you think, though, that there are certain essential aspects of your survival that Britain needs to learn from?
I think Britain and other countries can learn from Iceland's experience, particularly regarding the financial markets and improvements we could make there. Not just in Iceland and the UK, but in all of Europe and America even as well. But obviously there are huge differences, which means that you can't take Iceland's situation and experience and say that the same applies to the UK.
Well, let's take Iceland's experience. You put bankers in jail rather than bailing out the banks. Do you think enough has been done by the regulators to strengthen the system?
I don't think enough is being done by the regulators in general. I'm not speaking of Britain per se, but in general we need to look at how our financial system failed not so long ago. And we, I think, also need to admit that we haven't really made the necessary changes. What happened in 2007, 2008 can happen again. All the same faults are still there in the system. So we need to work together to learn from experience and correct that. It's not just a question of the situation here in the UK or in Iceland, but in Europe as a whole.
What about your situation, though? You're certainly not out of the woods, and you may never enjoy the foreign investment that you once did. What's your focus now? Will it be tourism?
Well, tourism is doing very well. I think tourist numbers have doubled in just 3 or 4 years in Iceland. But also the economy in general is doing quite well. Unemployment is down to 3%. Inflation is minimal, and wages have never been higher. So purchasing power is at its peak now. So all in all, the Icelandic economy is doing well. But what we needed was to increase our trade with other countries. We needed to increase investment. So therefore, we are taking the final big step in reinforcing the Icelandic economy by lifting the capital controls, which haven't been in place now for around 7 years. With the lifting of the capital controls, I think we will see a continuation of growth in investment in Iceland, and we are quite positive when we look to the future.
one question. You're a nation that's successfully pursued independence. Take the example of the SNP. How do you think they should manoeuvre over the next few months?
Again, I'd like to avoid telling the people of Britain what to do, but it certainly has been very interesting watching the developments in Scotland, not just with the referendum, but also the elections. So that is something which I assume hasn't finished yet. We will have to see what effect that will have on Britain. But however Britain develops, Iceland wants to maintain its good and close relationship with the United Kingdom and wants to see even more British tourists there. I think 20% of tourists coming to Iceland now are from the UK.
We will wait to see how that plays out in the next few months. Prime Minister Gunnlaugsson, thank you very much for joining us.